Hey there, artsy friends. Welcome to my Shorty art journal series. It's called Shorty because it's a half-size composition notebook. So I'm a few pages into it. Before I began, I started with a tutorial video on how to prepare composition notebooks, whatever size. And one of the things that I said is that I don't use watercolor. And someone commented that they use watercolor in their composition notebooks, which I was really surprised by. And I thought, well, I'm going to give it another shot. I think that I've tried it in the past and I didn't think it was very successful, but hey, it's always good to try things again, right? I guess. I don't know. So I really do like working with watercolor. Before I started doing composition notebooks, I used like a mixed media pad. I didn't love working in a spiral art journal, but I did like working with the watercolors. So sometimes I go back and work in there periodically, but I thought I would give it another shot as far as seeing what I could do with watercolor. And right away, I can say I don't love how it feels. Like it's not bleeding through. It's the paper is holding onto it, but it just doesn't feel good. I'm like checking to make sure it's not doing anything, kind of creating a wetness on the backside. And so far it's fine, but I think this is probably the only watercolor page that I'll do in here. So for officially it can be done, but I personally just don't love working with watercolor on this cheap paper. I would rather just give it something more stable, especially as I lay down the first layer. So I typically start with either acrylic paint or some collage of some sort. But nonetheless, sometimes when you start doing something and you're not loving it, it is kind of a challenge to figure out, okay, well, how can I just keep going until I can make something fun out of it, something good? So I am going to fill it all in with different colors. And I do notice that the less water I have on the brush, the nicer it goes on, obviously, because this paper is just so thin that it's just kind of absorbing the water really easily. But after it's all said and done and dries, I'm able to use markers and acrylic paint on top, which is really all I'm doing on this whole page, is using my Posca markers and some acrylic markers to go over the top. Okay, so I'm going to start doodling with some acrylic markers, and this is just an old off-brand set that I purchased before I even discovered Posca markers. And so I'm trying to be resourceful and frugal with all of my supplies and use what I have before they, dry up and die. So I'm just filling in some pockets with doodles. As I've mentioned, sometimes as you're working on a page, you're just not vibing with it. But there is a certain amount of trust the process, that if you keep going, likely you'll start to like it. Yeah, I think I can say that when I'm finished with this page and I'm flipping through my art journal, I look at it and go, okay, that's cool. That's pretty. I don't hate it, but I don't know. Sometimes you're just experimenting and playing around and taking risks, and you don't always love what you're making. Like right now, I just am like, I don't know what to do. So what I do is draw a big, fat, thick black line through the middle of the whole page. So I'm going to try to build layers so that the background will just kind of start fading into the distance. Because even the first few doodles I started working on, I don't know, they just really didn't do anything for me. So don't get frustrated when you're in the process and it's, something's just not really working. Consider it just a challenge to see how you can change it. So I'm starting to like these lines and these curves. It's a little bit neurographic, even though I'm not rounding out the corners, but I'm creating those pockets, is what I call them. I don't know if there was an official term. I like to make up my own terms, but these little pockets of space in between the lines and I'm going to fill them in. So if I am repeating patterns like I am here, where I'm filling it in with circles and then kind of filling in the background, so I want to make sure that I am mindful of how the same pattern balances on a page, so that, because your eyeball is going to see, your brain's going to notice similar patterns, and then it's going to kind of connect the invisible lines in between. And so they should have a similar weight or balance on the page. So next I'm doing these little like zigzaggy things. So as you can see, okay, so there's 3 pockets of space. I'm using this same zigzaggy pattern, and they're spaced out enough that they're not like crowded all on one side. Does that make sense? So as you can see, the more I begin to build, the more the background fades. And of course I have to have some dots, because you know me, I love dots, 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 dots. So I think the watercolor actually looks fine on the page. It's just a matter of the feeling of it when I was first laying it down that I didn't love. And I want to make sure that I enjoy each step of the process just as much as I enjoy the finished product. So yes, it's fun to step back and look at it when it's over, but really art journaling for most of us is about the process. It really is such a therapeutic time to just relax and let our creativity kind of take control. And yeah, so if I find myself focusing too much on wanting to create a masterpiece, or, you know, in the YouTube world, create content that everybody else will like, well, then I'm robbing myself of really the whole purpose of doing this. And that's just to thoroughly enjoy it without any inhibitions. Well, that's it. What do you think? Do you like it? I love gold on black, so I like the way it reflects. And overall, yeah, I like the feel of it. So it started off kind of but that's the way it works sometimes. So I just started a new thing, an art recipe card. So that is posted in a free download below, or you can take a screenshot right here. And yeah, that just kind of helps you with the step-by-step. So I hope that you come back and hang out with me again. I hope that you're inspired to go make some art, and have a very blessed day.